leftists are starting to look at Joe Biden and actually thinking about, okay, when do we remove him? And who do we put in his place? And we have some thoughts from insiders. So this is a Politico article going through all this. And I thought I'd cover it because they do have a lot of different quotes here from people who worked for like Bernie Sanders or AOC or all the rest of it. And they are giving their 2 cents openly, which is just old man bad. Old man not doing anything. Because
old man old.
Old man old.
Old man very confused.
Yes. A senior citizen, Mr. Biden, has gone on holiday in his own head for the last, I don't know, 10 years of his life.
He's been having a grand old time there.
And they think that their no refunds policy of getting him into office and then getting nothing has been a bit of a myth. So they're looking at what they can do to replace him. So this is the article. The left is already looking into 2024. Some want to see a Biden primary challenge. And just think in my head, if I was American right now, especially in a marginal constituency leading up to the midterms and whatnot, I would absolutely be going out there and campaigning just to remove these people.
Yes.
To make as much
Get
of an
these
impact as
frauds
possible.
and criminals out of office.
Yeah, I mean, you may just get Team Red, and Team Red may disappoint you at some point, absolutely. But Team Blue was guaranteed to disappoint you. So
Team Red don't seem as ardent in their support of grooming your children.
I mean, of course, depends on the candidate, and do get to know the candidate. But then also, you have a direct line to the candidate as being someone who campaigned for them.
I mean, the thing with
this isn't an advertisement for the Republican Party.
I mean, places like Virginia, the Republicans managed to win basically by going, we won't indoctrinate your children and give them pornography in the schools. I mean, if it's that easy.
We won't send rapists into your daughter's bathroom at school and then lie about it. I'll campaign on that.
There we go.
I'll
Job
embezzle
sorted.
funds. I'll do X, Y, and Z corruption, but I won't have your kids raped at school. I'll vote for that
Give
one.
this man a medal. Congratulations.
That's all it takes to be elected in the United States of America. So let's look at Team Rapist and what they've got to say instead. So when Joe Biden first came to office, progressives said he could be the next FDR. Now, as Biden's relationship with the left has come under strain, liberals are talking about treating him like President Jimmy Carter instead and mapping out a Democratic Party challenge in 2024.
I would say that there are some caveats to be the FDR comparison, given that didn't he stay in office far longer than he was supposed to and also hide his disabilities?
I mean, we could break Joe Biden's leg if that makes you feel better, but...
Well, I mean, the administration seems to be hiding a few of his disabilities.
Yeah.
Not doing a very good job, but
Mental
trying.
instead. So they continue in here. Will there be a progressive challenger? Yes, says Jeff Weaver, Senator Bernie Sanders' former presidential campaign manager.
A young, spry, progressive candidate.
Yeah, presumably not Bernie. I think later on, Jeff, this progressive guy here, even says that not Bernie.
Not Bernie.
Because Bernie would be 82 years old by 2024.
I thought Bernie was older than Biden. Is he, what, like a year or two younger?
No, he is older than Biden, I think.
Oh, really? These are our candidates. Look at these shriveled prunes. Which do you prefer?
Have you seen J-Rake's video on this?
No, I
It's
haven't.
like, so how should we elect the next president? And he's like, I'm sick of having old man versus old man, and all they do is debate. How about 2 guys in a ring, they beat each other to death, whoever's the biggest wins. Simple system.
No, can we have the 2 contenders still beat old man?
I mean, if you want. I mean,
Chicken very slowly.
but if you run young man and he beats old man to death, then we follow young man because, well, he won, didn't he?
He's strong, lead tribe.
Yeah, very, very return to monkey attitude, but that's J-Rake for
It
me.
can't do as worse than these candidates, can't surely?
Well, I mean, Trump would beat the crap out of Biden, so where's the downsides? So Weaver stresses that he is not advocating for such a primary campaign, but the chatter about a left-wing challenge to Biden, which was virtually non-existent weeks ago, has suddenly burst into public view in the wake of Senator Joe Manchin killing the president's climate and social spending bill, the Build Back Better bill.
Yes,
The
God bless Joe Manchin.
piss money up the wall because that's something, isn't it, Bill?
Trillions of dollars, trillion schmillions.
Yeah. So, well, that got killed, and then all the progressives were like, dude, you're killing our stuff, and he was like, yeah, Chad, get effed. Cool guy. Sure, that's how the conversation went down, or at least that's how it went in my head. And all the Dems are starting to think, well, hang on, if Joe Biden can't even do a most basic thing as piss money up the wall, that's his bread and butter for us, then, well, what's the point in having him around? And, well, from their perspective, obviously reasonable to get rid of him. He's deeply unpopular. He's old as S. He's largely been ineffective, unless we're counting judges or whatever the hell inside baseball scorecard we're using, and I think he's probably going to get demolished in the midterms.
Tell us what you really think.
Said Corbin Trent, co-founder of the Progressives No Excuses PAC, a former communications director for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
That's what it actually is.
There you go. You have a guy who's literally just worked for Cortez for the last 4 years or whatever, and his opinion is, this dude's old as S, he's unpopular, crap, can't do anything.
Yeah, but if Biden was actually doing everything that this guy wanted him to, that wouldn't matter.
No, but it's good to see that, well, this sort of dissent is bread and butter for, let's say, AOC and her staffers right now. It's obviously the case. Oh, yeah. And then the people who are at least left or on, Joe, on Bernie Sanders' campaign are just openly saying it instead, which is that this is a train wreck. I don't want to be associated with this. I'm going home. I don't blame them.
I'm going to start making YouTube videos about video games instead.
I'm going to go back to whining about sexism in video games because this is crap. Go back to being... I've even forgotten her name. It's been so long.
Sarkeesian.
How could I misremember Sarkeesian? Such an influence. So, quote, people will smell opportunity and DC is filled with people who want to be president. You used to work for AOC. I mean, are you saying AOC wants to? Just hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Just do it already. Like, I want to see the run.
The memes will be spectacular.
Yeah, even if she runs and destroys the country, I mean, at least we'll get to see it. So that'll be fun.
Get my binoculars out and sit on the coastline as, wow, what's going on over there?
Time to reclaim the colonies.
There's some fireworks going on. Lads, I think it's time.
Grab the tea. We're taking it out of the harbour. Anyway, no one now in office and none of the top-tier presidential contenders from 2020 is viewed as a serious prospect to take on Biden, however. Nor is there any expectation that senators... Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren, both of whom have enjoyed a significant amount of influence in the Biden administration, would primary Biden. However, there is obviously the case of, well, you don't have to run the two really old people who are just sucking his D every night. Instead, you could get some rando to run against him and do it that way, even if you don't want to run any of your big, heavy hotshots. I mean, as they say, few seriously think that Ocasio-Cortez would risk her political capital in a long-shot challenge to the president either. Yeah, why not? I thought you were popular. I thought your ideas were popular.
So if we just pull this random person off the street, they've got a better chance than most of our candidates.
I'm not even joking. That's where this article is going.
Oh, fair play. Here's Tim.
Yes.
Vote Tim.
Mr. Spieth. Vote Mr. Spieth. Instead, Liberals believe lesser-known candidates, I told you, are more likely to primary Biden if he seeks a second term, such as former Sanders campaign co-chair Nina Turner. This is what I mean by people you haven't heard of. No one's heard of.
Shockingly, I think I have heard of her, and really? I think she got demolished last time she stood for election. So, yeah.
Yeah, so 2020 presidential candidate Marianne Williamson, or millionaire...
Marianne Williamson.
I can't read English.
You're still with Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith.
Marianne Williamson.
What's that even a reference to?
I don't know.
I swear it's from a movie, but I just can't remember.
You've just hallucinated something.
I watched a good movie at some point in my life.
Got a dose of the Bidens.
Maybe. Or millionaire and $18 an hour minimum wage advocate Joe Sandberg.
Jesus Christ, 18 an hour. Inflation's already going pretty badly. I mean, come on.
Look, I'm very much for a $50 minimum wage. Look, $100 million...
A $50 million minimum wage.
A $100 minimum wage would help American workers. I'm telling you, $150 minimum wage.
Yes. Big number mean better.
Just make bigger. I mean, look, with the way inflation is going in the United States, I mean, what is it, like 6.8% or something now?
Something ridiculous,
yeah. Yeah, perfectly normal country. Quote, yes, but someone like Nina Turner or... How did you say it?
Marianne Williamson.
Miss Williamson, doubt anyone currently elected, said one prominent progressive when asked if someone from the left would run against Biden. So again, I mean, this is what I like about this article. They've actually done the groundwork of going out and asking all the retarded leftists, what do you think? And, well, their opinions...
They've come out with retarded opinions.
Well, no, because, I mean, they are, as retarded progressives, one thing, but they are very smart in power politics. And I can see them assessing it in this vein.
And the left is always great at stabbing itself in the back.
Yeah, it's their favourite activity.
Yeah.
It's good fun to just infight every day. The fact that any primary challenger at all is now openly being discussed demonstrates how disappointed some progressives are about Biden's presidency. It's also a reflection of Biden's weakness in the polls and his advanced age. Sorry, like writing that in the quotes there. The same factors that are driving more traditional and moderate Democrats to talk privately about scenarios if Biden doesn't run for re-election as promised. This is the weird thing. I always thought he never promised this. I thought he promised to just do it once and then leave. I seem to remember that being a campaign promise.
I'll run once and then I'll go away forever.
Yeah, because he was obviously senile.
I
Maybe
thought
I'm remembering wrong.
he was obviously someone they just propped up because they thought he stood a good chance against Trump.
Who else did they have? I mean, they were going to run
Noted liar Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas, Call Me Kamala, or Sanders, and none of them are going to win.
They might be trying to sneak Kamala in.
Not the Joe Biden. No, we can't have that conversation, can we?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Zip our mouths before we are shot. Anyway, quote, I do not think the country, nor certainly not progressives in the party, who all tend to be younger, are going to sit on the sidelines, said Mark Lufberg, a progressive ad maker who worked as a consultant for Sanders' presidential campaign. Again, just all the people who worked for Sanders, all the left Democrats here just been like, yeah, this dude sucks. We need to replace him. And, well, it's good that they're noticing finally. I don't know
They
why
work for Bernie Sanders.
I don't know why they didn't notice when he was running that he sucked. Just not vote for him. Or just don't do something stupid. But okay, we'll do the stupid thing and then say we're going to fix the stupid thing by doing another stupid thing. I mean, this is left-wing politics. What do you want?
I was going to say.
Yeah. Weaver argued that a liberal challenge wouldn't be a repudiation of Biden, but rather the result of the Democratic Party moving left. Thanks for the admission. I love this.
I do love that they try and treat it like this Democratic Party is already they always try and treat it like they're already centre-right or something.
Yeah, and they're just obviously not. But also, you must have seen the graphs. I mean, Tim Pool's great for this. He always demonstrates the graphs of just like the changes in opinions in the two parties. And the Republican Party has gone further right somewhat. That's true in all the graphs. I don't have it to hand. But the Democratic Party just massively moved to the left. And they're always denying it, and it's good to get an admission from Sanders' own campaign people that, yes, they have moved the party massively to the left. Thanks for that. Tell me more about Trotsky. Quote, progressives are ultimately ascendant, he says. Cool. And if nothing else, a progressive running who gets a lot of support will demonstrate that the ideas of a progressive movement that they embrace are in fact popular.
They keep trying this.
I love we're popular, we swear, but you can never actually get your man in office.
Do you know what this reminds me of? You know that Simpsons episode where they're all sat at the UN and Russia just presses the button and the sign flips and it says USSR.
What would it say instead? What do you mean?
Well, it's after the fall of the Soviet Union. So it just says Russia, and then you just press the button, it flips, says USSR, and it's like, that's right.
Well, do you not remember there was a Veritas sting on some of Sanders' own people, and they were all like raging, what was it? I think they were Trotskyists. Like, they were literally
That
talking
doesn't
about...
surprise me at all. And
ridiculous.
Bernie's got books out called stuff like Our Revolution. He's not exactly quiet about it.
But I mean, this is, a lot of political talk is used like that. So I've always been a bit skeptical of that accusation. I much prefer the stings where you just get his own people talking about how they're going to kill people in the streets. And it's like, interesting. Tell me more.
Obviously, that sort of stuff can be rhetoric, but I think with the evidence that you're presenting there,
yeah, it's foolproof. Anyway, if a left-wing primaries Biden, Trent predicted that, quote, it will be a bigger primary than people anticipate. I think it'll be like Jimmy Carter's primary. Ted Kennedy, a liberal, won close to a dozen states in the 1980s challenge of Carter, who then went on to lose the re-election. When Sanders himself reportedly considered running against then-President Barack Obama ahead of his 2012 re-election campaign, the Obama team was alarmed because, quote, every president who has gotten a real primary has lost a general election. They presumably contacted Senator Sanders' team and were like,
please.
wait till next year, and then the next 4 years, and then the next 4 years. Anyway, Biden already looks to be trying to make amends with the left since Manchin acts to build back better. The president has extended two major demands from progressive lawmakers and activists. He extended the pandemic-related memorandum on student loan payments and recently offered his clearest and most direct support for doing away with the filibuster to push through voting rights legislation. Which is that everyone should have a right to vote. Literally everyone. The guy from the other country, go for it. Russian tourists, why not?
Murderers and rapists.
Yeah.
That baby.
If you think I'm joking, just check out Wales's situation on voting, which is that foreigners can vote in Welsh elections. You think the Dems won't push that far? Think again. Anyway.
Well done, Tony Blair.
So there is the wargaming you can do here as well, which is the progressive left, as they're sitting around plotting and sharpening their knives, they could decide, well, okay, we could let Biden lose, and then you can claim victory for the left, because, if we had run left person, then we would have won. Or you can run in the primaries and harm Biden, and then he loses, in which point you say that, well, this is a victory for the left, because if we had won the primary...
He was never left in the first place.
Or you can let Biden win, and then it would be a victory for the left because there is no lose for these people because they do not recognize loss. These people are so deluded that they think everything is a win ever.
The Always Sunny meme. See, I play all sides, so I never lose.
Yes, you can't beat me because I'm retarded.
Yep.
They are correct about that assessment. And of course, either way, America loses, but whatever. So let's move to the next link, which is that British media has also picked up on this obvious infighting because it is becoming so evident. As you can see here, the Times documenting here. It was basically the same information, except right at the end, they added something more, which was funny. And I thought I'd go down. So if you can scroll right to the bottom, please, here, John. There's a section called Third of US Back Violence Against Leaders.
Jesus Christ.
Tell me more. The figure is higher among Republicans at 40%. This is how they frame it. And independent voters at 41%. But only 23% of Democrats feel that way, according to the Washington Post University of Maryland survey. Which I love that independents are the most violent extremist group.
Yeah, those violent centrists.
Yes, neoliberalism by the shotgun.
Yep. I mean, I'm just going to say, summer 2020 showed us how non-violent Democrats are.
Yeah, there's also just the revealed preferences, which is the multiple terrorist attacks, such as the one on the ICE facility by the Antifa member who was shot to death after firebombing a refugee center. That's right, he's a leftist. Firebombing refugee centers. Okay, and then
that
of course,
rogue car that went on a rampage a few weeks ago.
Sure,
was probably a Republican.
You have plenty of other such terrorist incidents or petty terrorist incidents, such as the bombing of the courthouse in Portland that has now been, I think he's charged now, the chap who did that.
Weren't there also attacks on the mayor of Portland's house who was letting it all go down?
And himself and everyone else in the neighborhood, and mostly peaceful. I'm sure we have to say. But anyway.
Don't live in blue states.
A majority, 62%, still believe that violence against the government can never be justified, but that number has dropped since the 1990s. When,
it's just been getting worse.
When it was 90% of people thought blowing up the government wasn't a good idea. Now it's only 60% are like, yeah, that's not good. It's 40% are like, I don't know. I mean,
they've only just discovered Guy Fawkes over in America.
This FBI agent next to me makes a good point.
Yep.
And his FBI
and he's got
agent
a lot
friend.
of money.
He's offering me a lot of money and some matches. Okay. So I thought we'd also just, this is the, let's say, media view or the assessment of the American left wing. How's it going? Terribly. They're all infighting. They're probably going to stab each other's backs by the end of the day. Okay. So how does the media view the right wing right now, who are just sitting on a big stack of I told you so and waiting for the midterm so they can go out and do their thing?
I daren't hazard a guess.
They haven't changed at all.
Of course they haven't.
They're exactly like if Donald Trump was in office. Go to the next link, please. You can see the Guardian reporting on this. US could become a right-wing dictatorship by 2030, Canadian professor warns, with an image of Donald Trump with his fist up. He's not in office. He's gone. and they mention in here, quote, "We mustn't dismiss these possibilities just because they seem ludicrous or too horrible to imagine. Or because they are nonsensical either, I presume."
I mean, is Trump even going to run in 2024?
And
I thought it's kind of up in air at the moment, isn't it?
You know how dictators usually leave office?
Oh, when they're democratically elected out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Happened all the time in the 20th century.
Yeah, anyway. So, moving on.
Stalin often fought hard for his electoral victories.
Let's go to the next link, in which we have the Independent's view on the right. Trump is at war with the rule of law, says Liz Cheney, ahead of Capitol riot anniversary. Hello, Rando, who isn't even in the Republican Party anymore, in the heads of anyone. Don't know why anyone's listening to her, except I'm left with media, but that's what the media want to promote. Again, just absurdist rhetoric. And we got the last one, which is just amazing.
It's beautiful.
Every day is January 6th now.
To you, maybe. Oh, we're coming up to the 1 year anniversary. Are you looking forward to the mountain of editorials like this we're going to be getting?
I love the whole he's at war with the rule of law one, though. It's like he's playing golf.
Yeah, mate. What are you thinking?
He's hitting holes in one. He's just out there with his little friends, all in little Pepe faces over here going, I want to play golf. Me too. Yeah, good friends. That's the destruction of the rule of law right there. And so they say in here, our political life seems more or less normal these days as the president pardons turkeys and Congress quietly quarrels over spending bills. Political life has got to normal, has it?
Spending bills?
I'm sorry, but
multiple trillions of dollars spending bills.
The US economy is in a point where everyone around the world is worrying because whatever happens in the US also will happen here. And US power is evaporating across the globe. If this is the new normal that you wanted, you've got it. No one else ever wanted this thing. But yeah, that's the left infighting each other. And the media, they're not changed. They're never going to change. Don't ever try and placate to them. Smear merchants. If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as this Contemplations, which Josh and Bo did together about the culture and politics of Russia. This is part 1, so in case they missed anything, do let them know for part 2. But if you'd like to find out what else is coming out on the site, you can always follow us on Getter at lotuseaters_com. Thank you and goodbye.